Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Cryptic Lovecraft, and in today's video I have yet again another book haul. This time mostly a thrift store book haul, but a couple of these books did actually come from Barnes& and Noble. I did hit up Barnes& and Noble today. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started and let me show you what I got. I think today's book haul was actually pretty cool. All right, so the first book that I want to share, and this was a Barnes& and Noble find, Return to Fear Street, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Now, what made me hit up Barnes& and Noble to find some Fear Street books and some Christopher Pike books, but I didn't find any Christopher Pike books today. But anyway, there's a coworker that I have. She's around the same age as me. We went to high school together. We didn't know each other in high school, but we work together now. Anyway, she told me that she hits up Barnes and Noble and she buys Fear Street books, and I was like, "What? They still have them?" And so I just went today hoping to find something, and I found this. So it's called Drop Dead Gorgeous, and there's a lovely young lady looking into a mirror, and her dead self appears to be reflecting back at her. So let me go ahead and read the back for you, the summary on back. Morgan Marks is the new girl, and nobody can stop talking about her. She's popular, smart, and beautiful. Everyone wants to be her friend, but her past is veiled in mystery, and no one knows exactly where she came from. Now, the annual Linden High Alumni Festival is just around the corner, and Morgan's dark secrets are about to be dug up for all the world to see. So it shows that the cover art, the copyright date was 2019, but let me look inside. And 2019 is the only copyright date I see on this, and it does say first edition, so I'm guessing it's a first edition due to the fact, just call me crazy, but it's a wild assumption. So I'm gonna assume it's a first edition, and the copyright date was 2019, so it's only a couple years old. And let's see, there's an ad. So more Return to Fear Street. There's a book called You May Now Kill the Bride and The Wrong Girl. Okay, cool. So it looks like I'll be hitting up Barnes and Noble here and there going forward to look for more Fear Street books, especially I guess this Return to Fear Street series. On the back it says RL Stine has more than 350 million English language books in print. I thought it was going to say he sold that many books. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, that was too long to spend on one book. Sorry about that. Okay, so Drop Dead Gorgeous by R.L. Stine. That was a great find. I was very happy to have found that one. Hang on, let me fix this. Okay. All right, so then I found this book called Rotten School. I guess it's a book series because it's got a number 8 on this side. I read the back, and this does not sound compelling. I didn't read the back till after I brought it home. It says that it's for ages 8 to 12. I don't think I'm gonna read it. I don't. Oh wow, look, there's art inside. Look, I don't think this book has ever been written. The spine is so stiff. But yeah, I don't see myself reading this one though. So I just found out about this one, okay, and I guess he has a series called Mostly Ghostly, and so that's the cover. So you have a little boy pulling a Macaulay Culkin going, ah, and then there's like a haunted mansion and a shadowy figure on the front cover. The tagline is, "Who let the ghosts out? boo, boo. No, that part didn't really happen, but who let the ghosts out? That's the tagline. On the back, there's actually a picture of R.L. Stine, and I'll go ahead and read you the summary on the back. So here it is, the brand new series from R.L. Stine. It's mostly ghostly and totally terrifying. You're guaranteed to get goosebumps when you meet Max Doyle. Max is a lot like you, except Max has two ghosts living in his bedroom, and only he can see them. The ghosts say Max is the only one who can help them fight the most gruesome creature in the ghost world, an evil spirit named Fears. Fears with a PH. Fears' idea of fun is drilling Max's teeth with 32 drills at once. Will Max ever get rid of the ghosts? You won't know unless you're brave enough to read this series. Okay, so that's some nice advertising there. All right, and it looks like the copyright date on this is 2004. That was the year I got out of high school. We'll just phrase it that way. Um, so, yeah, I was already 18 by then. I definitely wasn't reading Goosebumps at that age. Now that I'm older or whatever, I mean, the nostalgia of childhood is kicking in, and so I don't mind reading Goosebumps now, but back then I was like too old or whatever. So I found this one at Goodwill. Okay, A Midsummer Night's Scream by R.L. Stine. All right, it's in hardback. It's got a really interesting dust jacket. So I'll read the back and then I'll read the plot summary right here on the inside of the dust jacket. So I raised my eyes past the catwalk to the high ceiling and saw the two crossed swords hovering over the long dining room table. Seeing those swords made me shiver again. Nothing had changed in this house in 60 years. And once again, I saw the moment in the original movie when the sword dropped from the ceiling and cut off Cindy's hand. Cut it off so neatly, so cleanly, clean until her blood started to pump out like a fountain. A horrible death, right here, right where Delia and Anna Lee and I were standing, and we were about to do the scene all over again. Okay, I that sounds like it's supposed to be intriguing, but it didn't really captivate me that much. But let's see what this inside plot looks like. Oh, what fools these actors be. It was a horror movie that turned into a real horror. Three young actors lost their lives while the cameras rolled. Production stopped and people proclaimed the movie was cursed. Now, 60 years later, new actors are venturing onto the haunted set in a desperate attempt to revive their failing studio. Claire's dad has greenlit a remake of Mayhem Manor, and Claire and her friends are dying to be involved. But first, Claire laughs at Jake's talk of ghosts and curses. He's been too busy crushing on her best friend Delia, or making out with that slut Anna Lee, to notice that she's practically been throwing herself at him. What does he know anyway? This is her big chance to be a star. But then Claire runs into a creepy little man named Benny Puckerman and gets her hands on a real love potion. Unfortunately, the course of true love never did run smooth. Get ready for laughter to turn into screams as the Grand Master of Horror, R.L. Stine, takes on the Master of Theater in this modern reimagining of Shakespeare's classic romantic comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream. So that's why they call it A Midsummer Night's Scream. Interesting. Okay. So there's a review from Harlan Coben, author of Seconds Away, and this is what he says. Romantic comedy quickly turns to horror and revenge. Enough scares to keep you guessing and screaming. Okay. All right, yeah. Well, can't wait to read that one. I look forward to it. All right, so I believe those are all of the R.L. Stine books that I picked up today. I picked up this one. This is a point thriller, and I've never heard of this one. It's called Ghost Abbey by Robert Westall. And let me show you the cover real quick. So there's like a haunted manor, uh, an estate of some sort with a gargoyle in the front. Looks like it's worth a few bucks. So the book is called Ghost Abbey by Robert Westall, and the tagline on the front reads, "There's no place like home, except when it's trying to kill you." Okay, so let's read the summary on back. The Abbey didn't have ghosts. The Abbey was the ghost. Since her mother died, things have been difficult for Maggie. She Now she has to look after her twin brothers and her father. It's not much fun. Then a letter arrives asking Maggie's dad to renovate an old abbey. Maybe this is the chance they need. Maybe this new job will help them get on their feet again. Yet there's something odd about the abbey. First, Maggie hears strange bells, then beautiful voices, but there's no one there, and that's when the accidents begin. All right, so let's look at the copyright date real quick. This is in great condition. I don't think this book has ever been opened. So the copyright date is 1988. Oh, wow. Very cool. Okay, and now I have it. Awesome. So this next book is by an author named Betty Ren Wright, and the book is titled "Ghosts Beneath Our Feet." And a young a young lady looking into a mirror, and it looks like her ghost self is reflecting back at her. So the tagline on the front reads, "What was the ghost girl trying to tell her?" What was the ghost girl trying to tell her? Okay, so I've only ever read one book in my life from Betty Ren Wright, and the title was called The Ghost of Ernie P. I remember I bought it from the Scholastic Book Fair when I was in second grade, and I read it in third grade. And I don't remember the book all that well. I just remember that the main character was a living boy, and he knew Ernie P when Ernie P died. And he didn't really like Ernie P very much, but Ernie P thought they were like best friends. And he was really annoyed by the fact that Ernie P would say yup instead of yep. And that was the first time I ever heard of yup. Like, I'd never heard that term prior to reading it in that book, and that's all I remember about it. So I would like to eventually find another copy of The Ghost of Ernie P so I could reread it, and that's why I picked up this book. Well, I would have picked it up anyway, but because I was hunting for like vintage horror books, but when I saw that this was Betty Ren Wright, I it made me want it a little bit extra. So let's read the tagline on the back, or I'm sorry, let's read the summary on the back. If only Katie could understand the ghost girl's warning. Katie couldn't be happier about spending the summer in the tiny town of New Quay. She pictures a quaint little village with a town square and a general store, the perfect place for her mother, stepbrother, and her to become a family again. But as soon as she gets there, Katie knows she was wrong. The town is dreary and deserted, and there's something eerie about the old house they are staying in. Then Katie hears groaning noises under the floorboards of the house, and she sees a fearful apparition, a shadowy ghost girl who Katie knows is trying to tell her something. Katie cannot understand the ghost girl's warning, but she does know one thing. Her family is in great danger, and only she and the ghost girl can save them. Also by Betty Ren Wright, Getting Rid of Marjorie, The Secret Window, and The Dollhouse Murders. Okay, it would be interesting to come across those books someday too. We'll see. All right, so this book right here, this is called Into the Land of the Unicorns, and apparently it's book one in the series of the Unicorn Chronicles by Bruce Coville, or Coville. I'm not sure. I believe I heard Cameron Chaney once call him Bruce Coville, but growing up I always called him Bruce Coville, so I don't know. But the reason why I picked up this book is because I read it in fourth grade. Well, I didn't read it. We read it as a class, so I did technically read it. But yeah, I remember reading it in fourth grade, and so I just picked it up for nostalgic reasons. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to reread it. It would be nice if I did, but I don't know if I'll be able to find time. Um, yeah, so that was an interesting find. And for anyone who's never heard of the book, I'll go ahead and read the back to you. Or one unicorn dwells on Earth. Hundreds fight in luster. Their legends are recorded in the Unicorn Chronicles. As each chime sounds, Kara climbs faster up the steep bell tower. 11. She must be on the roof when the next bell tolls. 12. With a deep breath and only half believing she will survive, Kara jumps off the church roof and into Luster, land of the unicorns. In Luster, Kara meets many wonderful creatures, but the most magnificent of all is Lightfoot, a rebellious young unicorn. Kara's band of friends comes to include a hairy creature named the Dimblethumb and the monkey-like Squeegim. Together, they set out to reach the Unicorn Queen before the mysterious man who is following them does, to prevent the destruction of all unicorns forever. Coville weaves traditional unicorn myths into his accessible fantasy with an ending that hints at the next adventure. I didn't know there was ever more than one book in the series. Um, so let's look at the copyright date on this real quick. Okay, so it shows that the copyright of the book was 1994, which sounds about right. That would have been around the time I was in fourth grade. And then I guess this cover art was copyrighted in 2008. And then I'm seeing another copyright for uh, this is a first FCA press reprint edition from 2018. Oh, and I guess Bruce Coville dedicated it to or for Kara, so he must have named the main character after someone he knows in real life. So that's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed it, in fourth grade. So I also picked up this book called Sister Dearest by D.E. Atkins. Now, I didn't even know about D.E. Atkins until I came across Cameron Chaney's channel, but this is another point thriller. Um, the book is called Sister Dearest, and the tagline on the front reads, "Blood is thicker than water." So let me read the summary on back. The only good sister is a dead sister. Her older sister is gorgeous. Her older brother is cool. But their baby sister, Vicky, is a real wild child. The school year has just begun and Vicky already has a new guy and some brand new enemies, including the new principal. But she doesn't care. She just wants to have fun, fun, fun. She won't listen to her brother. She won't listen to her sister. She won't even listen to her best friend. Too bad, because if she keeps on pushing the limits, she's going to go too far, and it's going to cost her dearly. So let's go ahead and look for the copyright. Look at this page. Other point paperbacks you will enjoy: The Snowman by R.L. Stine, Teacher's Pet by Richard Tankersley Cusick. I found The Lifeguard by Richard Tankersley Cusick. Slumber Party by Christopher Pike. Final Exam by A. Bates, and Prom Dress by Lyle Litke, which I have a copy of that book too. I found it years and years ago at a thrift store. And the copyright date for this book is 1991. Okay. I still have a few more. Sorry, the video is getting long. This book is called Don't Scream by Joan Lowry Nixon. And that's kind of a compelling looking cover. Looks like a young lady hiding behind a door. Obviously, someone who poses a threat is on the other side of that door. So I'll read the back. When two new guys start at Jess's high school, she thinks the year is really looking up. What she can't know is that there is a connection between them. When one has been given a new identity by the government, the other is seeking revenge. Jess doesn't know whom she can trust or who will be the next victim. An exciting thriller that will keep teens on the edge of their seats, the School Library Journal. All right, so let's look and see what the copyright date is on this. Oh wow, so this author wrote quite a bit of books. So the copyright date for this one is 1996. And I guess it was reprinted in 1997. So, okay, whatever. It says that she's a four-time Edgar Award winner. I've never heard of her, though. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my scotch. Okay, that's a little bit better. So this one is another Caroline B. Cooney book, and it's called The Stranger. I have found a lot of Caroline B. Cooney books in the thrift stores lately. So the tagline is, "He's not like all the other guys." And that's what the cover looks like. So let's read the back. "Till death do us part. From the first moment she sees him in class, Nicoletta is drawn to Jethro, fascinated by his dark, mysterious face. She is attracted yet repelled, interested but afraid. Nicoletta becomes obsessed, unable to think of anything but this strange boy. But she knows so little about him until she follows him to a deserted cave on the edge of town and learns the truth. Jethro is not like the others. No, not at all. He has a terrifying secret, a secret no one must ever find out." Okay, that sounds really interesting. So, other books by Caroline B. Cooney, The Vampire's Promise. I want that one because it's called The Vampire's Promise. I like vampires. Freeze Tag, The Perfume, The Return of the Vampire, The Cheerleader, The Fog, The Snow, The Fire. I don't have any of those, but I'd like them. So the copyright date for this one is 1993, and it says First Scholastic Printing. Scholastic. All right, so we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I have three more. So this one is by Peg Carrette, and it's called Runaway Twin, and I just liked the name of the title, so I pulled it off the shelf to see what it was. And so there's this young lady who's running away with the storm behind her, and the storm looks like it's chasing her. She has a dog by her, and it's called Runaway Twin. So let me read you the back. "Sunny Skyland longs to be reunited with her twin sister, Star. With only an old photograph taken a few days before the girls were separated at age 3 to guide her, Sunny begins the cross-country journey that she has dreamed of during her 10 years in various foster homes. Sunny's quest quickly becomes complicated when she rescues an abandoned dog, but happy memories of Star keep her going. Despite encounters with bullies, bus drivers who can't accept dogs as passengers, and a life-threatening tornado, Sunny manages to locate her twin, only to be faced with a whole different challenge. In Runaway Twin, award winner Peg Carrette combines suspense and action with reflections on the true meaning of family, as Sunny learns that sometimes we must let go of our dreams in order to embrace a different, better future." We must let go of our dreams in order to embrace a different, better future. Huh. That's interesting. And the copyright date on this is 2009. Okay. Now, this does sound like a very compelling read, and I'm glad I picked it up, and I hope I can get to it. Okay, so this one is. So I'm actually a big James Patterson fan. I have been known to come home from work, start reading a James Patterson, finish the James Patterson, only to realize it's time for me to start getting ready for work the next day. So this is authored by Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton, and James Patterson. And so this one is called The President's Daughter, which is a sequel to The President is Missing. And I found this at a thrift store. I didn't even, hey, there's something on the inside. Wonder if it's my receipt. Yep, it's my receipt. Okay, book is in fantastic condition though. It should be because it's new. Even though I found it in a thrift store, it's probably been read once, if even. Yeah, so the first edition was 2021, and this is 2022, so I'm sure that's the first edition. Okay, and then the last book that I want to share with you guys that I purchased it from Barnes & Noble, and it is Stephen King's The Shining in hardback. So, I went there and I found my copy of Drop Dead Gorgeous by RL Stine, and then I just so happened to look up and I saw this on the shelf, and I was like, oh hey, Stephen King's The Shining. I never did read it, and I always wanted to, and I have no idea whatever happened to my father's copy. I wonder if I sold it on eBay. I doubt I did, because I would have wanted to have kept that one. I kept all his Stephen King books that I wanted to keep for myself. And so I saw this and I was like, oh, hey, I'll grab it. And I turn it around, I look at the back, and it's retailing for $40. And this employee just so happened to walk by me right when I noticed that. And I stopped him and I'm like, hey man, can you tell me, is this book really going for $40? Is that what you guys are charging for it? $40 for a reprint? And he goes, that can't be right. And he goes, let me scan it for you and tell you. So I follow him to his register and he scans it. And he goes, no, this isn't going for $40. It's going for $10. And he goes, this is a Barnes & Noble Last Chance edition. And I'm like, huh? Last Chance edition? That's interesting. So yeah, I got it for $10. So I definitely hope to start reading this very soon. Okay, and the last bit of news I have for you guys, and I'm going to need to take my, well, actually, I'll just show you. So that's a bookshelf. I bought it at Target tonight while I was out shopping at Target. So I'm getting ready to assemble it, and I'll be able to put the books where I don't have any space on my bookshelves. I'll be able to start a new bookshelf tonight, so I'm really happy about that. All right, because I keep buying books. I keep, getting hammered and ordering stuff on eBay, or I keep hitting up thrift stores and Barnes and Noble. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Thank you guys for watching, and as soon as I end the video, I'm gonna open that bookshelf and I'm going to assemble it. All right, thank you guys for watching. Horns up, peace out.